Hey guys, this video is for those of you building a lot of strength or building a quality amount of strength, but for those of you that feel like you're not building the muscle mass to match it, to back it up. Before I get into that topic, guys, I encourage you to check out my new book called Massive Iron. It is linked below. It is a base building system specifically designed to help you build as much muscle and strength the first several years of your training as possible. So if you're not satisfied with your results, check out the book. I'm going to talk a little bit about my philosophy on building muscle and strength in this video, because I see a lot of guys who are adding strength, but not adding muscle mass to back it up, not adding as much muscle mass as I'd like to see them adding. You know, they're building a nice bench press, they're building a decent squat, but their muscle mass is kind of lagging behind. And most of you guys want the muscle mass to back up the strength. You don't just want to build the strength. A couple of the issues I see in the industry, a big one is that there's kind of been a huge pendulum swing. Back in the day, back in my day when I started training in '86, we trained mostly with splits, and we would, we would target body parts, and when I came into the industry 5 years ago, I tried to, get people to swing a little bit in the opposite direction and maybe consider some of the full body workouts out there. But now there's almost been a swing in some circles to almost a bare minimum, a minimalistic full body workout, where beginning lifters are, are almost always pushed towards minimalistic programs like Strong Lifts or Starting Strength. And those are good programs. They're good for building strength. But quite frankly, guys, I recommend programs a little bit more diverse, you would say, when it comes to the muscle building process for guys that want to build a base. I don't think minimalistic programs are necessarily the way to go for guys that want to build a strength and muscle base, because I want to see you build as much strength and as much muscle in every muscle group from head to toe. That's one of the principles I preach. And while squats and bench and deads are certainly good exercises, I also like to see you use a broader range of exercises. But one of the reasons I see guys not building, one of the reasons why guys aren't building as much muscle mass as I think they should be, is because they're simply not pushing sets as hard as they could be. I recommend pushing sets for as many reps as possible. I'm not a fan of linear progression, straight linear progression when it comes to muscle building. Linear progression is the adding of weight week in and week out, like 5 pounds. You're going to add 5 pounds this week and 5 pounds the next week. I don't think that's the best way to approach muscle building and strength building for guys during their first couple of years of training. And I know that's controversial, but I prefer auto-regulated progression. There's some research that backs the reality that if you push a set for as many reps as possible, you're going to be recruiting as many muscle fibers as possible. There's also science that shows that if you're pushing around the 80 to 85% range compared to your 1 rep max, that you're going to be recruiting a lot of the big type 2B muscle fibers, which are the ones that have the most potential for growth. So research shows, or science shows, that if you're kind of working between the 5 to 8 rep range, that you're going to be building up the big muscle fibers. But a lot of times the problem is that guys are working with these poundages, but they're not pushing these sets for as many reps as possible. They might be doing 5 reps here, 5 reps there, and then next week they're trying to add 5 pounds. There's no baseline. There's no way for them to know that they've gone into the gym and they've pushed these sets for maximal amounts of reps. Also, when you're doing like a 3x5 or a 5x5 with a given weight, and none of these sets are pushed, for as many reps as possible, you're actually working with less than 80% of your 1 rep max. To tag team that, you're not pushing any of these sets for as many reps as possible. So you have two ways that might be limiting your muscle fiber recruitment. if you're pushing these sets for a 3x5 by 5 reps, it's under 80% of your 1 rep max, so there's no assurance that you're automatically pushing, your muscle, pushing your body to recruit as many muscle fibers as possible per set. And also, you're not pushing these sets for as many reps as possible, which is another factor that leads to maximal muscle fiber recruitment. So simply stated, if you're just doing a generic 3x5 or 5x5, there's no guarantee that you're actually recruiting a maximal amount of muscle fibers. This is backed by research. This is backed by what we know impacts, how training impacts muscle fiber recruitment. So I recommend, and this is the important part of the video, I recommend something called the Rep Goal system. It's my system of training. Instead of going into the gym and just doing a generic 3x5, which certainly can add muscle, I just don't believe it adds muscle at an optimal level, go into the gym and do 3 sets with about the same weight for as many reps as possible, stopping that set when you feel like you might fail on the next rep, because there's no point in training to failure, or when your form starts to severely deteriorate. So you want to perform safe reps, but you want to take these sets for as many reps as possible. So let's say last week you did a 3x5 on strong lifts or starting strength or whatever, with 225 pounds on squats. And this week you're scheduled to move up 5 pounds. Instead of moving up 5 pounds, I want you to take those 3 sets with 225 or whatever weight you're using and push them for as many reps as possible. Let's say you hit 8 reps on the first set, and let's say you hit 6 reps on the second set, and let's say you hit 5 reps on the third set. You have 19 reps or whatever you hit for that week. Go into the gym the next week and try to improve. You're going to be pushing these sets for more reps. You're going to be having more intense workouts, and it's going to help you increase your muscle mass. Then, using my Rep Goal system, when you hit 20 or say 25 reps for these 3 sets, then you would add 5 pounds to the bar. This is more of an auto-regulated type of progression. So go into the gym, instead of just generically doing a 3x5 and trying to add 5 pounds each week, go into the gym and push these sets for as many reps as possible, and try to add weight. If you're doing a 3x5, try to add weight when you can do 20 or 25 total reps for all the sets, not for each set, not 20 reps per set, 20 reps total for all the sets. Keep your focus on pushing for as many reps as possible. This will help you maximize your workouts. This will help you more optimally build muscle, because you're pushing these sets deeper, closer to failure. And again, failure is not necessary, but you're pushing these sets for more and more reps. You're going deeper into each set, which will help you recruit more muscle fibers, which over the long run will help you recruit or help you build more muscle. And it'll also help you build strength at an equal or greater rate than all these linear progression programs. My approach doesn't slow down your strength gains. It helps them auto-regulate. So instead of just generically adding 5 pounds to the bar each week, you're adding weight and adding reps as you can. You're pushing each set for as many reps as possible and adding weight when you can. So if anything, you might build strength more quickly, but you'll also build it at a safer level, and you'll also build more muscle mass in the process. So guys, I hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, there's a link below to a Q&A. Come on over, ask me any questions you want on strength training, muscle building, diet, nutrition, supplementation, or motivation. And guys, if this video has been informative and you are curious about my system of training, I go into everything I've just talked about here in more detail and more depth in my book called Massive Iron, which is about the Rep Goal system. It is about pushing sets for as many reps as possible. Check out the link to my book below, guys. And guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.